Your brain is designed to stop you from chasing big goals. Not because it wants you to fail, because to your brain, uncertainty feels like a threat. That's why the bigger your dream becomes, the more convincing your excuses sound. Have you ever noticed how exciting a goal feels until you realize how much work it actually takes? At first, everything feels clear. You see the future version of yourself, the person who finally achieved the things you've been thinking about for years. You imagine waking up healthier, more confident, more successful, and finally in control of your life. That image creates a powerful emotional response inside your brain. For a moment, the future feels real, and that feeling is what makes you take the first step. You write down your goals, you create plans, you promise yourself that this time will be different. This is the year you'll get in shape. You'll finally start that business. You'll learn that new skill. You'll become the person you've always wanted to be. And for a brief moment, everything feels possible. But then reality enters the picture. The dream becomes a project. The project becomes a list of tasks. And the list begins to reveal something your brain doesn't like. The distance between where you are and where you want to be. Suddenly, the goal that inspired you starts feeling heavy. You open your notebook. You start making a plan. You write down everything that needs to happen. The steps, the sacrifices, the time required, the possibility that even after all that effort, things may not work out. And that's when something changes. The same goal that once gave you energy starts creating resistance. You don't feel inspired anymore. You feel overwhelmed. You start questioning yourself. Is this really possible? Am I capable of doing this? What if I fail? Most people interpret this moment the wrong way. They think they lost their ambition. They think they became lazy. They think something is wrong with them. But psychology reveals something different. Your brain didn't suddenly stop caring about your goal. It started trying to protect you from the uncertainty that came with it. And understanding this changes the way you see yourself. For thousands of years, your brain had a very different mission. It was not designed to help you build a career, create a business, or achieve a 5-year goal. It was designed to keep you alive. Your ancestors did not wake up thinking about retirement plans, personal development, or long-term success. Their biggest challenges were immediate: finding food, avoiding danger, protecting themselves, making decisions that could determine their survival that very day. The human brain became extremely good at solving immediate problems. But modern life created a new challenge. Now, many of our biggest goals exist in the future. You want to become healthier 6 months from now. You want to build a successful business years from now. You want to learn a skill that will improve your life in the future. But your brain struggles with things that are uncertain and far away. A reward that exists tomorrow does not feel as powerful as a reward you can experience right now. This is why eating a sweet dessert feels easier than following a healthy diet. The dessert gives your brain an immediate signal of pleasure. The healthy lifestyle gives you a promise that requires patience. And the brain naturally prefers what feels certain over what is uncertain. This is not a flaw in your personality. It is a survival system operating in a world that changed faster than your brain could adapt. The problem is that the same mechanism that once protected humans from danger can now prevent them from growing. Because growth always requires uncertainty. Starting a business is uncertain. Changing your life is uncertain. Becoming someone different from who you are today is uncertain. And when your brain sees uncertainty, it does what it has always done. It tries to bring you back to safety, even when that safety is the very thing keeping you stuck. One of the biggest reasons people lose focus is not because the goal is too difficult. It is because the brain tries to process the entire journey at once. When you look at a big goal, your brain does not only see the final result. It sees every possible obstacle between where you are now and where you want to be. The hours you need to invest, the skills you need to learn, the mistakes you might make, the possibility that after all that effort, you might still fail. And this creates something psychologists call cognitive overload. Your brain receives too much information at the same time. And when the brain feels overwhelmed, it looks for the easiest solution. Avoid the problem. This is why procrastination often feels like relief. You are not just avoiding a task. You are temporarily escaping the mental pressure attached to that task. Imagine someone who wants to write a book. At first, the idea feels exciting. They imagine holding the finished book in their hands. But then the brain starts creating a different picture. 300 pages, research, editing, learning how to write better, the possibility of people criticizing their work. Suddenly, writing a book is no longer a dream. It becomes a threat. The same thing happens with almost every important goal. Starting a business becomes thinking about money, competition, and failure. Getting in shape becomes thinking about months of discipline and sacrifice. Learning a new skill becomes thinking about everything you don't know yet. Your brain focuses on the distance instead of the direction. And when the distance feels too large, motivation disappears. But the problem was never the goal itself. The problem was trying to carry the entire future inside your mind at the same time. Your brain was not designed to solve your entire life in one moment. It was designed to solve the next step. But there is another reason why focusing has become harder than ever before. Your brain is constantly surrounded by opportunities for instant rewards. Every notification, every message, every new video, post, or update. They all send the same signal to your brain. Something interesting might be happening right now. And your brain is designed to pay attention to things that might provide a reward. Thousands of years ago, this ability helped humans survive. A sudden sound in the environment could mean danger. A change in your surroundings could mean an opportunity. Your brain learned to quickly shift attention towards something new. But modern technology uses the same mechanism in a completely different environment. Now, your attention is constantly being interrupted. Not because your brain became weaker, but because your environment became more demanding. Your brain didn't suddenly lose the ability to focus. It adapted to a world where distractions are everywhere. The problem is that focus works like a muscle. Every time you switch from one thing to another, you train your brain to seek something new. You check your phone while working. You open another tab while studying. You interrupt yourself before your brain has time to enter deep concentration. Over time, your brain begins to expect constant stimulation. Silence feels uncomfortable. Slow progress feels boring. Working toward a future reward feels less satisfying. Because your brain has become used to getting something immediately. This creates a dangerous cycle. The more you consume quick rewards, the harder it becomes to commit to slow, meaningful goals. And this is why many people feel like they cannot focus anymore. They are not fighting a lack of intelligence. They are fighting a brain that has been trained by its environment. The good news is that what has been trained can also be retrained. The most dangerous prison isn't made of walls. It's built by your own brain. Psychologists often talk about the comfort zone as if it were simply a bad habit. But the comfort zone is much deeper than that. It is one of your brain's oldest survival strategies. From your brain's perspective, what is familiar is predictable, and what is predictable usually feels safe. That is why even an unhappy routine can feel more comfortable than a better future filled with uncertainty. Think about someone who has dreamed of changing careers for years. Every morning, they wake up frustrated. They know they are capable of more. They imagine a different life. Yet they never send the application. They never start learning the new skill. They never take the first real step. From the outside, it looks like a lack of courage. Inside the brain, something completely different is happening. The brain compares two situations. One is uncomfortable, but familiar. The other could be amazing, but unpredictable. And in that comparison, certainty often wins. This is why comfort can become a biological trap. Not because comfort is bad, but because staying there for too long slowly convinces your brain that leaving is dangerous. The longer you wait, the harder the first step feels. Eventually, your brain stops asking, "What if I succeed?" Instead, it keeps asking, "What if I fail?" That single question is enough to keep millions of people exactly where they are. Your brain can protect you from failure by protecting you from trying. And that may be the greatest paradox of human psychology. The same system that evolved to keep you alive can also keep you from becoming the person you're capable of being. Most people are waiting for something that was never meant to come first. Motivation. We often believe that successful people take action because they feel motivated, but psychology suggests the opposite. Action comes first. Motivation comes later. Think about the last time you didn't feel like exercising. The hardest part wasn't the workout itself. It was putting on your shoes. Or think about studying for an exam. You can spend hours waiting to feel ready. But the moment you finally open the book and begin reading, something changes. Your mind slowly begins to engage with the task. That happens because the brain responds to progress. Every small step sends a message. I'm moving forward, and progress creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence, and confidence fuels motivation. This is why waiting to feel motivated often leads to doing nothing at all. Your brain keeps waiting for an emotion, while your future keeps waiting for a decision. Successful people are not motivated every day. They simply understand that feelings are unreliable. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll doubt yourself. If your actions depend on your emotions, your progress will always be unpredictable. The people who achieve extraordinary goals are not those who always feel inspired. They are the ones who continue even when inspiration disappears. Because they stopped asking themselves, "Do I feel like doing this today?" Instead, they ask a different question. What is the smallest action I can take right now? That single question changes everything. Because your brain doesn't need to solve your entire future today. It only needs a reason to take the next step. So, how do you take back control? Not by forcing your brain, but by working with it instead of against it. The first step is to stop thinking about the entire mountain. Your brain doesn't need to climb it today. It only needs to take the next step. Instead of telling yourself, "I need to write a book," tell yourself, "I'm going to write one page." Instead of saying, "I have to get in shape," focus on putting on your shoes and walking for 10 minutes. Small actions feel achievable, and achievable actions reduce resistance. The second step is to remove friction. Your environment influences your behavior more than your motivation does. If your phone is next to you while you're working, your brain will constantly expect a distraction. If healthy food is difficult to prepare, you'll naturally choose the easier option. The fewer obstacles between you and the right action, the more likely you are to take it. The third step is to train your attention. Focus is not something you're born with. It's a skill. And like every skill, it improves through repetition. Even 10 minutes of uninterrupted work every day can begin to rewire your brain. Not because 10 minutes will change your life overnight, but because they change your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who always procrastinates, and you begin seeing yourself as someone who finishes what they start. Real change doesn't happen the day you reach your goal. It happens the day your habits begin to change who you believe you are. And once your identity changes, your decisions begin to change with it. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. It protects you from uncertainty. It pulls you toward what feels familiar. It searches for comfort before growth. For thousands of years, that strategy helped humans survive. But today's world asks your brain to do something it was never designed for. To stay focused on rewards that may not arrive for months or even years. That is why this isn't a battle against laziness. It's a battle between ancient instincts and modern ambitions. The moment you understand that, you stop blaming yourself, and you start designing your life in a way your brain can actually support. Because lasting change doesn't happen when you become a different person overnight. It happens every time you choose progress over comfort. Every time you take one more step despite the uncertainty. Every time you prove to your brain that the unknown is not always dangerous. Because in the end, your future won't be decided by the goals you set. It will be decided by the small decisions you repeat every single day. If this video helped you understand your mind a little better, subscribe to Insight Decoded. Every week, we decode the psychology behind human behavior, productivity, and the future shaped by technology. Because once you understand how your mind works, you begin to take back control of your life.